A poker table with no server, a deck no single player knows, and a pot the host cannot touch. There is no table server. This browser tab is the dealer, and only for as long as it stays open. The table just appeared for the other player, instantly, but not from the blockchain. There's a separate service, a relay. It simply passes messages between browser tabs, so the game runs at the speed of the game, not the speed of blocks. It stores nothing and decides nothing. This button rediscovers tables by scanning the chain directly, not by listening to the relay. If the relay were dark right now, this is what would still work. Slower, but it would still find this exact table, because the discovery record is a real transaction, not a row in someone's database. Nobody at this table knows the deck, not even the dealer. Each seat contributed a share of the encryption key, then reshuffled the whole deck on top of what the seat before it had already scrambled. Reading any single card back needs a piece from every seat still in the hand, including this one. 500 Satoshis just went to a condition, not a person. Bitcoin has no accounts, only coins, and every coin carries its own spending rule. This one's rule: accept a contribution from a seat, mark it in the active seat mask, and never pay out to anyone except one address named in advance. Look at who signed this transaction and where the money went. The host signed it, but the money moved into a different contract whose address was written into the cashier at the moment it was created. The host did not choose the destination. He cannot choose it. Before contributing a single Satoshi, every player independently recomputed that same address in their own browser. This is the same release transaction, read independently, by someone who never had to trust the table's word for it. Its output is not payment address at all. It is a locking script, the covenant itself, sitting right there for anyone to parse. Call, check, a real bet, check down all the way to the river. This is not a fold out. This is an actual hand with actual money changing hands based on actual cards. Every one of those actions, the call, the checks, that one bet happened off-chain, over the relay, instant, free, and still fully binding on both seats. The only thing that ever moves on-chain is a new state for the whole table. The old coin gets spent, and that same transaction creates a new one, carrying the new state inside it. That's commit hand, and it happens on every single hand: win, lose, fold, or a full river. Same live contract, one continuous session, and now a second hand, with the small blind on a different seat than last time. Hand 1, the small blind sat on seat 0, the host, by construction, on every table's very first hand. This is hand 2, the same live contract, and the button just rotated to the other seat. Nobody configured that by hand. The client computed it the same way it computes everything else here. 2 hands, real calls, 1 real bet, 1 fold, and every settlement still comes down to 1 transaction. Both sides sign the same final split. This system does have serious proof machinery. It stays switched off until somebody accuses somebody. Paying for verification every time everyone already agrees isn't security. It's a tax. One honest note: the bond on this table is deliberately oversized. That covers the miner fee for moving the pot into the contract, not the game's real economics. We break the exact number down in the description. None of these 3 contracts ever got deployed in the hand, just watched. They only wake up if someone gets accused. Void Engine proves a player is still alive. Shuffle Everly Engine proves nobody rigged the shuffle. Share Defense Engine proves a revealed card share is the real one. This exact path settled for real on mainnet once already. A 3-seat table, an accusation, a slash computed from the real bet totals. 375, 375, and 290 satoshis. Arithmetic the contract worked out itself, not a person. Different table, same code, a different day than the one just recorded. There are 2 different kinds of wait here. The dispute window is counted in blocks. The network itself enforces that. The settlement deadline is a plain 2 hours by the clock because it's about people, not the chain. The first one can't be gamed. The second one is a compromise, and we're calling it a compromise. The shuffle is fair as long as at least one shuffler is honest. That's an assumption, not a theorem. A heads-up table has no referee. Resolve challenge needs a non-empty referee mask, and at 2 seats, there's nobody left to fill it. What's left is claim abort and refund expired. Refund expired returns your capital, not your winnings. It's flat by design. We do index the lobby. A read-only indexer on our own infrastructure republishes a signed snapshot of these table discovery records for the browse list. That's convenience, not power. It never sees the cards, never holds the money, and can't stop the game. Pretending it doesn't exist would be a lie. No table server. A browser tab is the dealer. No single key knows the deck. Elgamal shares, reshuffled by every seat. The host signs the money in. A covenant decides where it goes out. One signed transaction settles an agreed hand, twice over with the button moving correctly in between. And proof stays off until someone lies.